Today we're going to be taking a look at the X20 here from Syma, and this is a nano, maybe slightly larger than nano size quad, and mostly meant for indoors with these prop guards, but you can fly it outdoors on calm days like today, so I'm hoping to get a nice flight in for you. And this was sent to me courtesy of GearBest.com, so I want to say thanks to GearBest for sending me this for review, and if you're interested, I'll have links in the description where you can check it out. So let's get it in the air and get into the review. All right, so let's get into the box here, and nice packaging as always from Syma. Has a picture of the quad on the front, the transmitter, and I believe there is a black version. This is the white version we have here. I believe there is a camera version. Don't know much about that because this is basically the standard model, the base version. So if we open up the box, inside we're gonna have our instruction manual, pretty good manual, easy to read, didn't have any problems with it. We'll put that back inside there. You have your quadcopter. It is a very nice little quad. I believe there is a camera version that has a lens here, but this is the standard version. Has an on-off switch here, a USB port for power, and it has little LEDs here. A little bit of a con here on this charging with the USB port. I mean, I guess it's fine. It's basically a nano. It's got the battery built in, so you're not gonna be able to switch out batteries on this. So I guess that's pretty standard for a lot of these nanos, but you know, it would have been nice to see a swappable battery. And then you have your transmitter here. A little bit different on this transmitter. You don't really have sticks. They're kind of like these little thumb pads that slide around. I don't know if that's really coming across on camera, but they don't come up much at all, so you're not gonna be able to pinch these. This is strictly for thumb flyers. And up here, this is gonna be your speed button, and over here, this is your flips and rolls button, and these are just kind of like dummy, I don't know if this is actually an antenna or something. Power switch right here, and then your trim buttons, the way those work is you hold them down or something and then trim these around. I don't know, it was a very stable quad. I didn't have to trim it, so I didn't mess around with that too much. So it's one of these, I've seen that before on a few models where it puts you into trim mode and then you have to kind of like give it opposite input whichever way. So there you go with your transmitter. I'm gonna move this here so this doesn't fall out. And then underneath there, you're gonna find a bag full of a screwdriver, full set of spare props, and your USB charging cable. And it took me about, oh, I'm losing a prop there. It took me basically 20 to 25 minutes to charge. The manual says 50 minutes, but mine was charging in 20 to 25 minutes. So take that for what it is. So pretty solid flyer, has some nice prop guards already attached. I don't believe you can remove these, and they work pretty well. There was a few times when I bump into some things and it stayed right in the air. I never really crashed this one, and I bumped into my house and a few other things, and the prop guards work very well and keep it in the air, and it is a very stable flyer. So why don't we get it in the air and show you how stable it is. You can start your motors by just holding both sticks down and in, or is it down and out? Or you can just go up like that. So you can also kill the motors by going down and in like that, just holding the motors down and in like that. That also starts them. Let go after a few seconds, and then you can just go up in the air and bring it up in the air like that. And this one flies real nice, real smooth little flyer. Quiet too, which is good for indoor flying, which I believe this one is mostly intended for beginners and indoor flyers. So this will also give you the auto land, I believe. So we'll demonstrate it here. And there you go, auto land. Works very well. It'll also do an auto takeoff for you. So that function works very well. And we are in the low right here. So let's bring it up here and then demonstrate a couple flips. It flips in every direction, although I suppose the side flips are really called rolls. But anyway, it does fly very nice. This one does have altitude hold, and the altitude hold works extremely well, especially on calm days like today. And we are still in the low rate, got almost no wind right now. And I would definitely suggest if you're gonna fly this one outside, you want little to no wind at all, because this one does not have a lot of power. It does look really cool in the air though. I've always been a big fan of the Syma quads. So let's give you a little yaw demonstration here on the low rate. Kind of giving it a little bit of turning there. So pretty slow on the yaw. Do that again for you. Pretty slow on the yaw on the low rate, and then full forward pitch and low rate, so it doesn't get too fast, as you can see, but it flies nice. And again, I thought I wasn't going to be a huge fan of these sticks, the way they just kind of, they're more like sliders than sticks, and I've never seen a transmitter like this. So when I first opened up the box, I was kind of like, oh, this one's going to be difficult to fly, but really haven't had any problems with it. So let's go in the upper rate here, and I'm just going to push that button, and it's going to give you, on the upper left there, it's going to give you 2 beeps, and then you're going to get a little bit quicker here on this upper rate, but still not too quick. And the altitude hold, especially on a calm day like this, works extremely well. Although you can see it kind of gaining altitude there as I'm getting my turns, and then it kind of corrects itself right there. So I'll show you a few more flips. I believe there is a camera version of this also. If you look right on the front of this one, it has what would be the lens on the camera version, but this one obviously has no camera, so it's kind of just like a big LED that you can't really see right now because it's bright sunshine. So that's about it with this one, the X20. It can fight just a little bit of wind, but if you have any sort of quick breeze or anything like that, this one does not like the wind at all, and it will kind of just blow it right out of the sky. I've had that happen to me a couple times, and I thought it was safe flying it, but even just the slightest wind is going to kind of blow this one out of the sky. So mostly meant to fly indoors. It does have the red LEDs in the front and the green in the back, which seems to be pretty standard from Syma also, and always kind of confuses me. Let's give you a little yaw test here on the higher rate. It doesn't seem to change too much. Maybe gets a little bit quicker from the low rate. And you can kind of funnel it maybe a little bit, but not too much. Doesn't have a very quick yaw at all. But the altitude hold seems to work fine. And doesn't seem to impede you flying at all. Sometimes you get these altitude hold quads and the altitude hold doesn't know what to do at all, and they're all over the place. This one, I would say it gains a little bit of altitude when you go into a turn quick, see like that there, but it doesn't do it too much. So you can kind of, it corrects itself usually, and you can correct it also. And then also a lot of altitude hold quads, I've had issues with them coming down, and that's going to vary depending on what the air pressure is that you're flying in, because the barometer is reading the air pressure, and that's how it's trying to hold its altitude. And today's very calm. See there, we almost wobbled out of the sky. And we got LVC here. This one gets, I don't know, just under 5 minutes, I guess. I'll have the exact time on the screen. I'll fly it around until it won't let me anymore. I'm not sure what kind of LVC it is. And then while we're talking about LVC, the charging time in this one is about 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes. So there we go. That's gonna be your flight time, I guess. Let me try to take it off one more time. Might have had just like a, no, it's not gonna do it. So that's your flight time there. I'll have it up on the bottom of the screen there for you. And that is the X20 from Syma. A little bit short on the flight time, but this is a nano. It does have the, it's like a micro USB plug, I believe that is. And I guess that's somewhat proprietary, but you should have some cables lying around. It does come with the cable, obviously, but you're not gonna be able to switch out batteries, but it does have a very quick charging time of only about 20 to 25 minutes. So no real complaints there. So there you go. If you're a beginner or if you're a fan of the Syma brand, I know Syma is a pretty popular quadcopter brand and I like them myself. My first quad ever was a Syma X5C. Then I moved on to the X12 and the X11, I believe they were. Definitely the X11. The X11 I love. And I'm a big fan of this one also, but it's going to appeal more to the beginner and the indoor flyer, or perhaps the Syma collector. So there you go, guys. Link in the description if you're interested. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.